I don't ever want to hear Stephanie White and defensive guru ever put together again.
That's not a man overreacting to one bad night. That's a longtime fan watching something he believes in fall apart in real time. The Indiana Fever just lost on free, over-the-air national television, and not to a contender, to an expansion team. So the question isn't whether this was bad. It's how a roster with Caitlin Clark on it got outworked this completely.
They got absolutely worked by an expansion team on over-the-air free network television for the entire country to see. Congratulations, Indiana Fever. You have hired a coach that has regulated Caitlin Clark into what? The third best player on the team?
That's not a man overreacting to one bad night. That's a longtime fan watching something he believes in fall apart in real time. The Indiana Fever just lost on free, over-the-air national television, and not to a contender, but to an expansion team. So, the question isn't whether this was bad, it's how a roster with Caitlin Clark on it got outworked this completely.
Came out once again with her hair on fire. Stephanie White benched her. What are we doing? By the way, expansion team officially has a better record than the Indiana Fever.
Here's the detail that turns frustration into a real argument. The expansion team now holds a better record than the Fever. Sit with that. Indiana brought back a veteran-heavy roster, hired a coach, and sold him to the fan base as a defensive specialist, yet they're getting lapped by a franchise that hasn't existed long enough to establish an identity. And the loudest accusation in that clip is the one worth examining. Caitlin Clark is being shrunk, turned into a role player on her own team.
Look at this, folks. Fever in the first half versus the Fire. 9 of 29, 31%, 1 of 10 from three-point range. They were down 13 at halftime, and it only got a hell of a lot uglier from there. Guys, there may be 3 days worth of nuclear fallout after this. I posted this on X way early. Let's say the Fever come back. Is it really a win? I mean, yikes. They never should get dragged like this by...
Watch the specific claim being made. Clark comes out aggressive, playing with pace and force, and gets benched roughly 3 minutes into the game. Then the math gets damning. The team shot 9 of 29 in the first half, 1 of 10 from 3, and was down 13 at the break. According to this account, they were functionally finished by the middle of the third quarter. When your best defensive engine is on the bench while the scoreboard collapses, that's not a player problem. That's a decision.
If the WNBA / Indiana Fever media is not riding Stephanie White's ass, they're all officially joked. Take your credibility, build yourself a nice little pile, and light it on fire. If any creator tries to tell you, oh, it's one bad game. Nah. This, folks, is a trend. Stephanie White, your defensive guru status is burning in a fiery hell right before our eyes.
Now, here's where personal opinion gives way to something you can actually measure. Aaliyah Boston finished with 18 points. Kelsey Mitchell added 17. On paper, 2 players in double figures sounds like production, but look at when those points came. The argument here is that they were left in during a decided game to pad numbers, not to compete, because the comeback was never realistic. That's the difference between stats that win games and stats that decorate a loss. And it's the kind of thing a box score hides if you only read the totals.
There's a video that has come out of Caitlin Clark talking about, yeah, we need to get the ball into the post and yada, yada, yada. what bothers me the most is it's starting to sound like Stephanie White has finally beat down Caitlin Clark. And it's really concerning. Like, I'm at the point now where I'm literally saying, you fire Stephanie White or trade Caitlin Clark. Because her career is going to be ruined. Her career is going to be ruined.
This is the part that should bother every fan, regardless of which side they take. The frustration isn't only with the team, it's with the silence around it. The claim is that the coverage protects the coaching staff instead of asking hard questions. Whether or not you agree with how harshly it's framed, the underlying point holds. Accountability shouldn't disappear just because the season is young. One ugly night can be written off. A pattern of getting outworked is a trend. The honest move is to figure out which one this actually is, not to wave it away.